Phillip Island, Australia. You're talking penguins, seals, cows, and a goat. It's done it again, everybody. It delivers. And boy, did it give the people what they wanted this weekend. Other than, of course, a full Sunday on track action. But other than that, when we did get bikes on the track, oh boy, we finally got it. Johann Zarco has won a Grand Prix in MotoGP. And then, of course, we finally got the flip.
Do a flip!
So, yeah, not many people out there are going to be that unhappy with that result, I wouldn't have thought. Very popular rider, popular guy. The manner in which this was won just made it all the more dramatic and entertaining. Wasn't it just absolutely brilliant? So let's talk about it. The story of the race. What happened? Jorge Martin, looking clearly like the quickest guy for the weekend, qualifies on pole, sticks a soft rear on. The idea here, and we heard from Casey Stone if you're watching on TNT, sort of said this could be a good decision if you play it right, get yourself a gap, but you can still look after the tyre and then look to just ease your way into the end of the race there as people start to come back to you a little bit. But the decision here from him, when he clearly had that kind of pace to probably go on and compete for the win on the medium tyre, it just seemed a strange decision that he'd think to himself, no, I really need to make this call here so that I can get myself this advantage. When you probably do kind of almost back in that he probably, like I said, was quick enough to compete for the win on balance if everyone was on the same tyres. He's made the risky call. As a guy chasing in the World Championship, I don't always mind that. The Championship leader usually has to go a bit safer, right? But it did seem a strange decision in the sense that, I mean, I appreciate the fact, like I said, that he's taking the risk, but it does seem an odd decision when you'd think on balance of play, he probably was quick enough to win the race anyway. Maybe he was just trying to make it like, I don't want to be in a scrap for a win. I just want to clear out and win it comfortably on my own at the front. And then the tide begins to turn as his tyre drops off, and you could see it. He was sliding over Lukey Heights. He's sliding through Stoner Corner. He's just having to sit the bike up or try and get the bike upright as much as he could. And it just didn't last for him. And then chasing group led by Fabio Di Gianantonio for most of the time. Binder had a turn at the front there as well. Zarco came back to this group, tagged onto the back of Pecco, went through them. And as the race reached its crescendo, Johann Zarco goes to the front of that group. And on the last lap, when they're only chasing down a second lead and he's going probably 2 seconds a lap slower than them, we get the move from Johann Zarco. When he did go and try and fire it up the inside there, because he did it to Binder, I believe, to get himself into second. And I was like, geez, he's almost rushed that a little bit. He's got the pace. He's got time to spare. He can probably wait till he gets through the hay shed here and over Lukey and try and pull this one into turn 10 instead of doing it from that far back and block passing and stuff like that, taking a bit of a risk. But it was the right decision because he got himself to the front quick enough that then he could lead the charge to Martin. And then as soon as he got to Martin, there was no waiting around. You know, again, I did think maybe, was it worth him maybe not having to come from that far back and risk a big lunge? But it was the right decision because it got him out ahead and then no one could rebuttal from there. Well, that was it. The rash and decisiveness of the overtakes and when he made them was the key, I think. Not just for catching Martin, which it seemed like obviously was going to do anyway, but to distance himself from the chasing pack. And man, what a ride and brilliant. Just, you love to see it. And you do also love to see the performances here. Digi getting himself on the podium when it looks likely that he probably will miss out on a seat next year. And I'd probably say on balance of play, that probably is fair enough. But I also I wouldn't be annoyed if he did get another ride for next year. I mean, it just is what it is. He's both probably good enough and not good enough, if that makes sense. Pecco was crossed the line as if he'd won it, fist pumping, and you would do, because when Martin was clearing off, I don't know if maybe they were pretty relaxed about it, knowing that tyre, he was going to struggle later on. It certainly did look at one point like they weren't going to be able to chase him down. And I feel like once again, like last week, he's crossed the line and he's celebrating. And I just feel like there's more relief there than anything else. There must be. That must be what it is. Because that's 2 weeks in a row now where the race and the championship lead has potentially been within Martin's grasp and in his hands. And that's twice now. And I won't say he's thrown it away, but yeah, he's kind of thrown it away, hasn't he?